Oh, hello everyone. I have hands. Today we're doing a simple little pickup, what I just got. We have some complete in-box things, because that's what I started collecting. You'll see a theme with half of the games, but we'll get into that when we get there. Let's start. F-Zero GX is a fantastic racing game, and this is unfortunately the last game they released in the series. Oh, it's tragic. But this one was very intense, but also my personal favorite. As much as I do love the 64 one, I don't know why. This one is just absolutely phenomenal. And I got all the goodies inside. Nice big manual. Decent condition. You know, not too bad. A very fine addition to my collection. Another gem that is definitely a hidden gem. I feel like it should be a little more popular, but it does have a life now because it's a little on the pricey side, especially for the condition I found it in, which I was very surprised because I've actually been looking for this one for a while, but I never find it with all the crap inside. I got all the good stuff, which, can I still get the hat? Anyone know? Because I would definitely get that hat if I could. We got the goodies. Probably 2 years since I found this game, not just the disc only. And the disc is actually in pretty damn good condition too. So that's exciting. But this is like a Resident Evil type game. You actually have to deal with your character going insane, and you have little trips where you think your head popped off, or you're just randomly surrounded by zombies and it's not happening. Really unique system, very well done. Unfortunately, it was only released on the Gamecube, so it definitely didn't succeed as much as it should have. It's very tragic because it was very unique, and they tried to kickstart a sequel and it did not work because y'all fucked up. A tragic end for this series is just this one game that was absolutely fantastic, and I kind of want to stream this game. Next up, we have some Game Boy Advance games. Let me take it out of the case that I have. Okay, first up, Metroid Fusion. I unfortunately didn't get this before Metroid Dread came out. The price definitely jumped up, so that's unfortunate. But I was able to get a really good copy. The box looks pretty good. You got some obvious like corner scuffs, but that's you know, the life of a box. We were able to get the goodies. We got all the stuff inside, and then the game, which I tested, it works. This game, I don't know. This one's kind of hard because it's tied with Dread for me because I really like this one, and I thought Dread was amazing. But nothing will top Super Metroid and Metroid Prime. I nothing. Oh, these games were so good, and I just can't. I cannot. And I got a good manual too. Ooh, hear that? Satisfying. This was a really good one. Only came out on the Game Boy Advance. They really need to put it on the Switch. That would be awesome. Very happy to find this one. Let's get you protected again. Bam. Okay, now is when the theme starts to kick in. Next up is Castlevania Circle the Moon. Probably the least favorite on the Game Boy Advance, but I actually really enjoyed it. My favorite thing was definitely when you finish the game, it had a ton of replayability because like you would just enter a new name and it would kind of change like your character class and give you like specific stat boosts and make some weapons better than others, and it was pretty cool to play through the game another like 9 times. And then they also had in the regular game the card system, which was actually pretty cool. So you can combine 2 cards and then change the properties of your whip or get magic attacks and other stuff like that. And I just thought it was pretty well done and honestly underappreciated. I would love to see Nathan come back in another one. But look at that. We got our manual. Crisp. This manual actually looks really good. Corner scuff, but everything else looks pretty damn good. The actual Game Boy booklet that I've never cracked open in my life. Oh! See this, you can subscribe and get a free issue of Nintendo Power Advance. Wow. The game. Tested. Works great. This is going to go to my shrine because Castlevania is my favorite series. Harmony of Dissonance. This one they did different than the first and third Game Boy Advance Castlevania game. It was kind of more like a traditional Castlevania game. A little more like Symphony of the Night. A little more reliant on the whip This one doesn't have all the extra goodies, but we still got the manual and the game. Dissonance was very solid. I really enjoyed it, but I like Circle the Moon and the next game I have more. But nothing tops Castlevania 4 for me. Favorite in the series. Harmony Dissonance, very underrated, but still a very, very good one in the franchise. Let's get you sealed back up. This was a big boy. This one was a little pricey, but considering it's one of the most popular in the series, I definitely needed to get it. So my shrine for Castlevania grows larger. So we have Aria of Sorrow. We got Mr. Thing. Just the manual on this one. Good condition box. The manual looks great. Ooh! Aria of Sorrow was absolutely amazing. Introduced Soma, your boy, and it introduced the Soul System, which is used in the first DS one and in Bloodstained, the Iga spin-off. And I definitely like the Soul System. You kill enemies, you have a chance of dropping their soul and giving you their power, and they can give you either a magic attack or a passive ability or so on. It's just so well done that it's really hard to not grab this one first when I go to play a Castlevania, like, Game Boy Advance game. But it's a pretty quick playthrough because I've played it like 59 times. So, but this one is definitely more expensive than these two combined. But I needed to complete my collection because my shrine for Castlevania grows larger. Next up, we got Dracula's Curse. And yes, another Castlevania game. I know. Complete in box. I know. This one is a little more rough around the edges. I'll show you when I crack it open. We got some corner blemishes, all that fun stuff. Some little scuffs right here. But I mean, who cares? It's Dracula's Curse. We got the manual, the cards, the actual inserts. More explosive action for your Nintendo. Konami. Remember they made games? Oh, it was a time. Look at that. Still looks very good condition. Like this never got opened at all. I wonder why. Anyone want to mail something to Konami? Just be like, hey, why don't you make some games again, you bastards? Remember when you made good games? Not doing slot machines like a bunch of boners. The manual is in fantastic condition. Look at that manual art. Oof. Cartridge has a little bubbling. It's got a little bubbling on it, which isn't the end of the world. But outside of that, the cartridge looks good. Some scuffs. That's why you got the case. But in terms of NES, the Castlevania 3 is, so good. The different characters, the variety, it's just so well done. And I'm honestly not usually a stickler for complete in box. But because Castlevania is my favorite series, I need to collect them all. And I want them to be good quality. I want them to be presentable. That is the end of the Castlevania pickups. Next up, a Super Nintendo game from a series that I really don't hear enough about. We have Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. So this one's a little more rough in the corners. I honestly never even see these games. So actually finding a box one was pretty surprising. Look at how good that looks. Oh my god. Manual's a little not great. Look at that. Yeah. This one wasn't super expensive, so honestly it was worth it. Manual's a little crunched up. Like it got pretty soaked. I mean, my favorite ones are like the later ones. Because, I mean, the first two, you literally just like walk into the enemies and kill them. You kind of just switch off doing damage to each other. It's a really weird system. But this one, they made it like side-scrolling, and you actually, when you press the button, you swing your sword. You know? Like most games. This one's definitely not my favorite in the series, but I really like the series overall, so I definitely am okay with getting it, considering I never see the boxes anywhere. I'm very happy to find this one. Oh, yeah, not perfect, but I still honestly got a really good price for it. and I'm very happy about that. And I'm happy to display this game because I like some of the weird ones, you know? Next up, we're gonna jump up a few gens. Very happy to find this. I haven't seen this in so long. Ooh. Oh, we actually have to zoom out. We got Time Crisis plus the Gun Con. This one did not include a copy of Time Crisis, but it still had the Gun Con, all the cables, and the Gun Con's in really good condition. And I've always been looking for these big Gun Con boxes. I don't want to buy the loose guns because it doesn't look as fun displayed. This way I can keep it compact, collected, and delicious. But I didn't care about it not having Time Crisis because I already have Time Crisis. Come on. Look at that. The case looks great. Look at that. It looks so good. Let's scratch on the case, but you know, that's life. It happens. But the Gun Con itself looks fantastic. It looks like it's in great quality. We got all the cables, even the connector guy. It has the little Namco. Yeah, it's a little beat up on the bottom, but considering how old the stuff is, I can definitely forgive some, you know, scuffs like that. But you got the full little guide here. I unfortunately do not have a CRT, so I can't use this yet. I'm in the lookout for one. I want to get like a decent sized one that's actually worth my time. But the buttons sound good. Trigger sounds great, and I just was very, very happy to find this. I mean, the box got scuffs. It got corner issues, but I don't care. I absolutely love light gun games. They're some of my favorite games, along with classic shoot 'em ups. But very welcome to my collection. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have Time Crisis 4. This included everything. I have the gun out because it's actually plugged into a TV, so I'm actually going to show some gameplay. It had the Gun Con 3, it had a copy of Time Crisis 4, it has the manual, it has the plastic for the gun. The box itself is in very good condition. This was definitely a great find. The box looks pretty good. The corners are solid. Time Crisis was only released on the PlayStation 3. And unfortunately, the Gun Con 3 only has a handful of games with it. This is the Gun Con 3. And these are the only games that work with it. It's very unfortunate. Raising Storm includes Time Crisis 4, but the copy of Time Crisis 4 comes with a few different modes, so it's kind of worth getting both if you're on the market for a Gun Con 3. Copy Raising Storm, that includes Raising Storm, Dead Storm Pirates, and Time Crisis 4. Lots of fun. It also works with the PlayStation Move. So even if you don't have the Gun Con 3, if you have the Move controllers, if you have like a VR, you'll be able to play 2-player. Time Crisis 4, arcade game, and it has an extra mode where you actually use like the 2 sticks and walk around like a first-person shooter and shoot with the gun. It's pretty interesting. I get why it didn't stick, but it is unfortunate that there's only 2 games for the Gun Con 3, because I thought the Gun Con 3 was really well done. But the era of the Gun Con was PS1 and PS2, and I unfortunately can't find any Gun Con 2s, so I'm still looking for those. Well, that's all I have for these pickups for today. I'll probably have another one in a few weeks. Hope everyone has a good day, and I will see you all in the next one.
Game over.